still in that process. I'm going to let Mike Fisher come forward and talk about where we are at this time.
All right, thank you, Judge. You've heard that we've had an increase in size of this event and an increase in the number of structures lost. However, on the other hand, the crews that are out there today are reporting they are making some progress in getting some anchor points tied in together. They've saved any number of structures. I don't have that count, but that's been an ongoing thing all day. Some of them have been in some pretty dangerous situations to do that, and I certainly want to thank them for doing that. I want to give a report on the other fire called Union Chapel Fire. Just left there a few minutes ago. The estimated acreage of that is 800 acres. It has taken out another 27 homes over there, and about 200 folks have been evacuated. Those folks that needed a place to shelter have been absorbed into our existing shelter system. The crews that are on that fire, some of them have been there for 52 hours, and we're in the process now of trying to get them some fresh resources in there for overnight. Percent of containment of that fire might be at best 15%. We've got helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft that have been assigned to the fire. All in all, because the weather has not been so severe today, all the fire crews are making some progress. I just want to mention that we have, as the sheriff said, we've lost 2 souls in this tragedy, and our firefighters and law enforcement people are feeling very, very bad about that, but not nearly so bad as family and friends, I'm sure, of those persons. That's all I have, unless we have questions.
I'd like to thank everybody. What has happened on this fire is that we've had individuals, firefighters, members of the Sheriff's Department, members of the community who've had to push forward. Many of the individuals who are standing here today and also the individuals working have also lost houses. But they're pushing to make things better for this community. And it's hard to work knowing that you don't know if you're going to have a place to go home to. And that's the situation. I know we're over here, but also the individuals are working in the community. So I want us to continue as a community to work hard together, push, make differences in people's lives. And I thank everybody who has been working diligently throughout the night through this process. I'm always amazed when I come in, and it's always people, individuals working. And also, I'm glad with the state resources that we've received in this process. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, we're going to take questions. Now, I'm going to ask that the questions not be specific to a personal road or personal house. We'll be able to come over and talk to you about that. A lot of times, we don't have the information on that. But we'll take questions at this time.
Make the stats of the fires, the acreage, everything you said, but all together with the Union Chapel and
Okay. The current size of the fire is over 34,000 acres. We've estimated that 550 houses have been destroyed. Total neighborhoods evacuated is 20.
Containment?
Mike has stated that we're about 15% containment, which is up from 0% containment, which we've been battling.
Union Chapel, right?
Yeah, we're on the Union Chapel or the main part?
The 15% was in fact Union Chapel. I do not have an exact figure for containment of the Bastrop complex fire. I do know that we have achieved some containment through the operations out there today. What we typically do in our cycle is evaluate that amount of containment at the end of each shift. So around 6 o'clock this evening, we'll be able to get those crews in and get it from their eyes as what they've accomplished. And then we'll do that on 12-hour periods. We're hopeful that beginning with this 12-hour period, we'll see an improvement and an increase in percent of containment until we get to that 100% level.
What direction and speed are the fires moving in now?
Essentially, the fire that we've been on the third day of are moving to the east and to the west. That's called the flanks and they're expanding. The head has essentially been stopped at the river.
Did you shed any light on the 2 people who died? Were they residents? Were they trying to save their homes? What were the circumstances?
I have none of that information, I'm sorry.
But they weren't firefighters or police?
No.
No, they were not.
So they were residents?
They were not firefighters and not policemen.
They were residents.
I don't know that.
Can you tell us what area you were talking about, not to address just the area? Why not?
No, I'm sorry, at this time, and you asked why not. I mean, this is something that we discussed a little earlier. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of concern now that we release this information from people within the community and outside the community, and we're going to respond to that as much as we possibly can. But I hope that everyone can understand that if it was your family member, you certainly wouldn't want to hear about it on TV or open up the newspaper and read about it. And so we're not releasing any information as far as the general location or anything until, number one, we make a positive identification, and number two, the next of kin or family members are notified before any public release.
Do you fear the death toll will rise above 2?
I'm sorry?
Do you fear the death toll will rise above 2?
I certainly hope not. I mean, it was...
All right, we are wrapping up that news conference there in Bastrop at the Civic Center there. The sad news to report that we have learned there have been 2 killed in the fires there in Bastrop.